you just say, hi, I'm Monte Gould?
Hi, I'm Monte Gould. How are we doing today?
He was a giant when I was just a kid. I was always trying to do everything he did. I can still remember every lesson he taught me. Growing up, learning how to be like my old man.
I was born in Globe, Arizona, 1942, 7th day of November. I grew up during the war, and there's something about that era that's kind of in my blood, I guess. So.
Planes known as the P-47, the Thunderbolt, a fast, tough, high-altitude fighter with a dive like its name and an 8-gun blast in its wings.
My parents was Harlan Monte Gould, and my mother was Neoma Powell Gould. Dad worked the pipeline. We was kind of some of the first that I could remember places that we was at was Wyndon, went to Kingman, lived in Kingman for a little bit. That was on the crossover, what Dad called the crossover. And then we moved to Gallup, I believe. And Dad kind of worked the pipeline both ways from there.
And how old were you when you ended up in Farmington?
Oh, not too old. I was in the third grade maybe, some fourth grade. I can't remember. That would have been 1950 we ended up in Farmington. I was born in 42, so 10, 11, I was probably about 12. I can remember Calvin and I, we'd go down the river, and I remember wading in the river up to my neck, and I couldn't swim a lick. So that was pretty sharp, you know, wasn't it? We were pretty adventurous souls at that time.
How old were you? You decided to go to Nini. How did you decide to go to Nini?
Well, it was a combination. I wanted to go and I might need to go, you know, because I wasn't doing too well in school, you know, so I got shipped off to in my junior year in high school, so it would have been 59 and 60. Oh well, anyway, graduated in 61. Went on back to New Mexico Military Institute for my freshman year of college, freshman, and then from there I went to ROTC boot camp in the summer. I was 63.
How long were you in the National Guard?
6 years.
So that's when riots were happening, and you were involved in a riot, right? Weren't you?
I was involved in one in Albuquerque. We got up there, and I was standing out front. We was kind of had a line to keep the students or the rioters or whatever you want to call them, combination of both, away from some place that they was wanting to tear up. Then they started throwing rocks. Kind of hard to dodge them all. So I got one in the knee, and it kind of knocked me down. Well, they dug me to the back, and I kind of limped off over there, and it was okay, you know, within a week, you know, but I had to kind of limp around there for a little while. Come back to Farmington and got married in August, last day of August, 63. So that's where Margot and I started our life together as man and wife. But I dated Margot for years and years before that.
When did you first meet Mom?
Oh, when I was driving. I was 16, she was probably 14. So I may have met her a little bit before that, but that's kind of when we went out on the first date. Well, no, 16, 14, we ended up at some school dances together. And we used to like to go to dancing. Back in those days they had dances in the parking lot. So like Safeway or somewhere like that at night, they'd let them get out there. That was kind of the beginning of rock and roll, so we were rocking and rolling.
And you dated all the way through high school?
Yeah.
Wow. High school and even when you went to NEMI and all that?
Yeah. Wrote a lot of letters, and she wrote me a lot of letters.
And what about your marriage? You know, you look back on so many years with Mom. You got how many years you were married?
54 now. I think that's where we're sitting at. Margot's company was good times. We fought a lot. We were just natural. We clashed naturally. But we got along in that we cared a lot for each other, you know. Childhood sweetheart. She's been a great woman. She's taken care of me through my sicknesses, and she's hard to beat. So I was lucky to get her.
So how did you go from school to working in the oil fields and stuff like that?
Oh, I was down there at ASU. Kind of got fed up with what ASU and what was going on and what I was really doing in life. So I decided it's time to go to work. I'll go back up to Farmington, and Dad said he'd get me a job with El Paso Natural Gas Company, which he did. And or when I first lived out in the field, at a field camp called Lowry. And when we was out there, I was a gas well attendant. But when we got to town, they wanted me to go back to Lowry, and I said, no, I'm not going back there. And I said, well, okay, we'll see if we got anything here. Which they did at heavy maintenance. So I went to work at heavy maintenance as a welder's helper after a short time, you know. And that's where I learned to weld. A guy by the name of Johnny Mitalosis taught me how to weld. And then I would weld a little in the welding shop when I come, and then I may go out on the road with the contractors. So I worked as a welding inspector for quite a while, and eventually I became a chief inspector, which I could still do a little welding inspection, but they could add a little more on to me.
Hit it, boys!
What's it like being a Democrat?
Yeah. You're not talking to Harlan here, buddy. Harlan was the Democrat.
I'm a Democrat.
He was a Democrat with a conservative point of view. Let's put it that way. So.
A Republican, which is my middle son, Monte. He's a Republican. Him and my daughter-in-law Margot, they're both Republican. Died in the wool, Republican.
I'm a very conservative person, so I like individual rights, which I think, you know, the whole country ought to be running off of. I don't think you need somebody up there telling you when to go to the bathroom and when to drop your drawers. So I think you need to make those decisions on your own. But there's some people that wait around to get the orders.
If you have to tell your grandchildren, or if you wanted to say something to your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and maybe your great-great-grandchildren who are going to be watching it, what would you tell them?
What would I tell them? I would tell them if you told anybody you was going to do anything, that's what you did. If you couldn't do it, you explained to them, I can't do it, you know. You need to be honest and straightforward with people. You don't need to be beating around the bush and tell them you do this and then go do something else, you know. Be a man. Hold up for what you think's right, you know. So I know we're not all Democrats, we're not all Republicans, but we're all honest, aren't we? Or we should be. So that's what I'd tell them.
Now I'm a giant, got a son of my own. He's always trying to go everywhere I go. Do the best I can to raise him up the right way, hoping that he someday wants to be like his old man.
Hey, that first one by Marty Robbins, I hadn't heard him before. So that was something new to me, but see if you can help me get on there. Bye. Where are you at? I thought we were supposed to be over there at 12:15. Hey, give me 2 tacos if you would, please. This is Monte. I know I'm a little bit ahead of time, but happy birthday.
My old man, I know one day we'll meet again. As he's looking down, my old man, I hope he's proud of who I am. I'm trying to fill the boots of my old man.
This is Monte. I'm home. Bye.